Hi there, we are now entering our speeches that require visual aids, and so I want to touch on how to do visual aids and how not to do visual aids. So I'm going to pull up some examples. So let's just start with the basics. Most people either use Prezi, which I'm going to show you, or PowerPoint. Those are the two most common. I see PowerPoint more than I see anything. And so let me give you the basic requirements here. You're going to have between 5 and 7 slides. You need to have a background, and you need to have both pictures and text. So let me show you Prezi real quick and what you'll do if you choose to use Prezi. First, you're just going to type in Prezi.com, try it for free, and then it's going to say start your free trial, but you'll see the month amounts here. But if you go down to basic, right here, click basic, then you continue it for free. You'll have to start an account here and sign on, and then slides will come up. You need to make sure that I can't go any further with this because I actually don't have an account, and so I don't want to waste my time to do all of that. For me, Prezi is more difficult because you have these bubbles, these boxes, and you have to make sure that one, your audience can see it, and two, that it fits inside the bubbles. If you want to use this, some students love it and do great with it. Great, use it. But this is the website that you will use. So let's continue on. Then the most common one that I see is PowerPoint. So let me pull that up. Same thing applies. You need to have between 5 and 7 slides. If you have more, that's okay. But use a background. That's the first thing. If you don't use a background, it's going to look unfinished. So you'll go to design, and they're all right here, and you just choose one that's fitting. That's all you have to do for the background component of it. So I have one that I've already done. I do this one in my Comp 2 class. So as you can see here, I have a title slide, and I don't have too much. You are not using this as a big note card. So I don't want you to have this up and then to be reading it. You're not reading it. You're going to reference it beside you. So ideally, you'll have a presentation on the wall, as some of the example, as there's an example that you'll see. And if not, just have your laptop next to you, but make sure you're standing up, and then you'll transition with it, like that. So you're not ever going to just be staring at it. So it's not a big note card. You don't even need to you're not going to carry over full sentences from your speech into there. This serves as a guide to enhance your speech. It's not for you. It's for your audience. So you have to make sure that your audience can see it. Use the same font, be consistent, same coloring. Don't try to get things to bounce in and be all fancy with it, or sometimes you can get the words to roll in. You don't need to do all that. Keep it simple and clean. So you can see my slide 2. I have a list here. It's not too busy. I wouldn't want to add any more words to it, because if not, it would be too busy. Next one, I have a picture in there. Kind of make it fun. You need just use clip art if you have your own personal pictures, but you need a balance here. So make sure that you have that. I'm just scroll through there. You can see that this is all consistent. It's all the same. I've got pictures in there. Not every single slide has a list of words or sentences in it. Keep it plain and simple, and make sure that you don't have just font and you don't have just pictures. You don't want it to be cluttered. You also want to make sure that you don't have a lot of blank space, meaning that you have one small picture up right here and the rest of this is blank. You don't want that. When you want a concluding slide, please don't just put the end, I'm done. Make sure that you actually have a conclusion slide, something other than conclusion. So no matter what you use, 5 to 7 slides is the minimum. And I'm going to be looking for how well you transition with this. You're going to be the one to use it. And I want to see if I'm talking about, let me go back up here, the basics here. If I'm explaining to you in my English class about this paper being in third person, then that's the slide that should be up. I want what you're saying and the slides need to match up. So for another example, I wouldn't want this slide about the library, and I'm talking about make sure that you're saying in third person. I need it to match up. When you go to present it, you want to make sure you play it from the beginning. Excuse me. So you'll go to slideshow. I think you can hit F5 too, from beginning, and then you see how it takes up the full screen, and then you can just hit the arrow, full screen, arrow, and it's the full screen. So practice with it before you give your speech. That's important. Make sure that you're familiar with it. So I hope this helps clarify what the requirements are for the visual aid. Is they won't change. I'm not going to up the amount of slides. So just make sure that you have a strong PowerPoint or a Prezi. It has to be a multimedia presentation. So you can't get a piece of construction paper or a poster board and post pictures on it. So make sure that you're using a multimedia presentation. If you have questions, let me know.